Hello students. So from today onwards we are going to start economics. In your 8th standard you have already studied about geography, history and civics. Economics is a new subject for all of you. Therefore, we will first try to understand what is the meaning of economics. When I say the word economics, what comes in your mind first? You will answer that economics means something that is related to money, which is correct. But in economics, we just not only study about the money matters, but we also study about the proper utilization of all the resources that are available to us. You all know that we have limited resource, but our wants, our desires are unlimited. So in economics, we basically study how from these limited resources that are available to us, like our all the natural resources or the non-renewable resources, how we can use these resources in a proper way so that we can produce more and more commodities and services as well. So therefore all the production of goods and services, that means the production of all the mobile phones, gadgets, cars, various types of food items, agriculture, the banking facilities, all these are the goods and services, and their production is what we are going to study in economics. Production is the key to a country's economic development. About 70% of India's population reside in villages. In villages, people have various requirements of goods and services. Therefore, it will be very simple to understand how the requirement of goods and services are fulfilled in a village. So we are going to begin our chapter 1, the story of village Palampur. You have to make the notes of economics in your geography notebook only as per the instructions that you have received earlier. Let's begin with our first module of the chapter. The story of village Palampur. Through the story, the author wants to familiarize you all with the basic concept of economics, that is how the goods are produced in our country, and this the author wants to explain you with an imaginary village known as Palampur. So Palampur basically represents the villages of India. Palampur is a well connected village with its neighboring villages and town. Raiganj, a big village, is 3 kilometers from Palampur. An all-weather road connects the village to Raiganj and further on to the nearest small town of Shahapura. Many kinds of transportation are visible on this road, starting from bullock carts, tongas loaded with jaggery and other commodities to motor vehicles like motorcycle, jeeps, tractors and trucks. This village has about 450 families belonging to several castes. The upper caste families own the majority of the land in the village. Their houses are large and made of bricks and cements, and one third of the population is covered by the Dalits of the villages. Most of the houses have the electric connection in the village Palampur. Electricity powers all the tube wells in the fields and is used in various types of small villages as well. Palampur has two primary schools and a high school and a primary health center run by the government. As we have already discussed, the story of Palampur, an imaginary village, will take us through the different types of production activities in the village. In villages across India, farming is the main production activity. The other production activities referred to as non-farm activities includes small manufacturing, transport, shopkeeping, etc. We shall take a look at both these types of activity after learning a few general things about the production. The main aim of the production is to produce the goods and services that we want. There are four requirements for production of goods and services. These include First, land, second, labor, third, the physical capital, and fourth, the human capital. Let us see one by one how these factors of production are important. The first requirement is land, and land doesn't only mean the land on which the farming will be done, but it also includes other natural resources such as water, forest, minerals, which are essential for production of various types of commodities. The second requirement is labor, which means the people who will do the work. Some production activities require highly educated workers to perform the necessary task, while other activities require workers who can do manual work. Each activity of labor is very important for the production. The third requirement is physical capital. Physical capital means the variety of inputs required at every stage during production. What are the items that come under physical capital? There are two types of physical capital. First, fixed capital, and second, the working capital. First, the fixed capital. Fixed capital basically means all those tools, machines, and buildings which can be used in production over many years. Like tools and machine range for very simple tools such as farmer's plow to sophisticated machines such as generators, computers, etc. Working capital. The working capital means the raw material and the money in hand that are required to carry production. Unlike the fixed capital, these are used up in the production. Production requires a wide range of raw materials such as yarn used by the weaver and the clay used by the potter. Along with it, some money is always required during production to make payments and buy other necessary items. These are all included in the working capital. So fixed capital means those things which can be used again and again over the years, like the machines, and working capital basically includes the raw material and money that you require continuously throughout the production. There is a fourth requirement too for carrying out the production. You will need knowledge and enterprise to be able to put together land, labor, and physical capital and produce an output either to use yourself or to sell it in the market. These days, it is called human capital. So, human capital basically means the skills or the person that is required to carry on the whole process of production. For example, we need managers in our factories or in business. So managers are basically the people who are keeping all the necessary production work together. So thus every production is organized by combining land, labor, physical capital and human capital, which are known as the factors of production.